Hello and welcome back to Crypto Saving Experts, where we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news and take a look at the markets so that we all know exactly what is happening. My name is Jess and we do these live streams every single weekday. So if you are new here, please do not forget to like, subscribe and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We've been doing these live streams every single week now since back in November last year. So we have not stopped updating you on what's going on in cryptocurrency. We have actually seen a move for Bitcoin for the first time in a while. So let's take a look at that for a second. Bitcoin is down 2.24% within the last 24 hours. $28,500 is where we currently sit. Ethereum has seen a similar move, down 2.1% to 1,785. Now, we were asking for volatility. Obviously, we wanted that in the upwards direction. It's not what we've got, but at least we're seeing some sort of movement, right? Let's see what's going on in the chat this morning. Good morning to everybody who is in the chat today. Thank you very much for tuning in as always. Let's see what we've got in store today. We've got a lot to discuss today. First of all, we're going to go in with the price of... Actually, no, we'll save Bitcoin analysis till the end. First of all, we're going to go through the cryptocurrency news. So first, we're going to talk about Coinbase. Coinbase secured an NFA approval for US offering of Bitcoin and Ethereum futures. So Coinbase is gearing up to introduce cryptocurrency futures trading for institutional investors within the US in the near future. Now, I believe they are the first to do so alongside spot trading services. So Coinbase has received the green light from the NFA to provide eligible customers in the US with the opportunity to invest in crypto futures. In an announcement on the 16th of August yesterday, Coinbase revealed that the company had obtained official authorization from the FCM platform. And this approval empowers Coinbase to launch futures contracts for both Bitcoin and Ether, facilitated through its derivatives exchange regulated by the CFTC. Now, Coinbase obviously got sued by the SEC earlier this year, and they got accused of offering unregistered securities. And the problem we see in the US is that the regulators are struggling to find where their borders are. So we've got the SEC that regulates securities, and we've got the CFTC that regulate commodities, and we've got these cryptocurrency companies trying to grow with the actual classification of these assets slightly unclear. So we use the Howey test to determine whether an asset falls into the category of a security or a commodity. With that Howey test, it's hard to determine the actual answer for cryptocurrencies and digital assets. So with that, we're seeing here, obviously, the SEC filed a lawsuit against Coinbase earlier this year, and then we've seen them continue to build forwards. We did first of all see Binance get accused of the same things of Coinbase, but we've seen Coinbase continue to grow. They've now been offered, they've now partnered with major institutions like BlackRock and a couple of others to facilitate their spot Bitcoin ETFs, and we're now seeing them continue to build and look to get regulated by the CFTC, the commodities regulators, to bring this institutional investment platform for Bitcoin and Ethereum. So Coinbase is still moving forwards, even though they're having those problems with the SEC. Now, we all know the SEC have been targeting the cryptocurrency space for a while, but it's nice to see that Coinbase are continuing to grow in this space. And a lot of people did speculate at the time of the Coinbase and Binance lawsuits that actually this could free up the space for Coinbase to gain a huge amount of market share that Binance once had. Now, we've seen Binance users fluctuate massively in the US, and we're seeing Coinbase trying to capitalize on that and trying to steal some of the market share from Binance while they receive all of this FUD and they are in this lawsuit, because the Binance lawsuit goes a little bit further than the Coinbase lawsuit there as well. So really interesting to see how this shift is happening between Binance and Coinbase. Obviously, we all know, as I said, Coinbase is currently partnering with major institutions to offer the spot Bitcoin ETF services. So does this mean that Coinbase is going to come out on top? Is Coinbase going to manage to get a bigger market share in the US within the next couple of years? We're going to have to wait and see on that one, but it's a pretty interesting one. Now, Coinbase haven't just been growing in terms of their centralized exchange. They've also created their Ethereum Layer 2 base. Now, this unfortunately has not gone as well as expected. So base hit with another rug pull as Swell lent disappeared is with $460,000. So what's happened here is Base launched, it's a layer 2 network for Ethereum. It was meant to bring us faster transaction speeds, lower transaction fees, all of the rest of the good stuff that layer 2s do provide for Ethereum. But so far we've seen a few rug pulls on here. So we had some meme coins. We had Bald, which was really popular meme coin just 2 weeks ago. We also had Base and we had Coin. Now, I believe 2 of these 3 meme coins did rug pull, and now we're seeing another rug pull here on the Base network once again. So it's not really giving the network the reputation they want. Obviously, it's got nothing to do with Base. It's a decentralized network. Anybody can build applications on it, and we need to be careful when we're doing our research into these applications. Base is just the layer that they're choosing to build upon, but it's not looking too good, and it may scare people away from using the layer 2 network, those people that don't fully understand the difference between the two. So we can take a look at this swell length rugs on Base and Linear. So PeckShield have announced this, and we can see scammers are infiltrating Coinbase's new chain. So earlier this month, Bald, a meme coin poking fun at Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong's boldness, rug pulled. We've also seen, as I said, Base, Rocket Swap. So we are seeing lots of problems there. Obviously, nothing that Base can really do. It's a decentralized network. Anybody can build these projects. Anybody can deploy onto these networks. We just, as investors, need to be careful and do our research and take a look at who's holding the tokens, how they're distributed, whether the contract owner has any rights to the contract that we may not have spotted. We just need to do a lot of research into these things. And if you are investing into meme coins and things like this, I recommend taking a look at Dex Tools, because they've got a list on the side that just ticks off all the boxes and really breaks down the ability the contract owner has to control the funds within the contract. So make sure to check that out if you're looking at different altcoins there. Let's take a look at the next topic though and see what else is going on here today. Please don't forget, if you have not already, to like, subscribe and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We've got a lot to discuss today. We're taking a look at the crypto news, then we'll take a look at the price of Bitcoin, analyze that and see what's in store. And I've got a nice lovely warm coffee this morning. Usually by the time I actually press film it's freezing cold, but today it's pretty warm. So let's see what's going on here. Let me pull up the chat. So let's see what's going on. Andrew says, hey Jess, content as always. Thank you. Thank you very much for tuning in once again. Thank you. Good morning, Justin. Good morning, Heart. Thank you all for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. Hopefully, when the price of Bitcoin starts moving, we can get some more excitement and some more viewers in here. But while everything is sideways, the interest in crypto seems to drop, and that's a real shame, because this is the time where we actually have some more time in our day. During the bull market, it's literally like you have so many things to do. And during the bear market, you have a lot to do, but you don't have that time pressure. So people sort of put things to the side, and then when the bull market hits, they wish they educated themselves a little bit more. They wish they stayed on top of the cryptocurrency news. So that's what we're trying to do for you guys by doing these live streams every single day. So please don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and share the stream with your friends as well to help us in the algorithm as much as possible. Let's see what's going on here. So new Bitcoin mining tech could drastically increase reward probability. So the blockchain technology company has released AI-powered algorithms that could improve reward chances when Bitcoin mining. So I'll quickly explain how Bitcoin mining works. What happens is, obviously, it's a proof of work network. What we have is a algorithm which only works one way, so you can get from A to B and through this algorithm, but you can't get from B to A. Now, when there is a new block needing to be minted, we try and mint a new block every 10 minutes. What happens is you get the target and you need to try and get B or low. You need to get B to be lower than or equal to that target. Now, obviously, we're going from A to B, so you can't go backwards. You just need to continue testing until the answer from your algorithm is lower than the target. Then you have the rights to mine the next block and append that block and earn that Bitcoin reward. So what we're seeing here is this AI is saying, do you know what? I think I can find a faster way to try and calculate with this algorithm an input that gets an output lower than that target. Now we're looking at this, obviously, we've seen this many times before. People used to mine Bitcoin on a small device, but over time, the complexity of mining Bitcoin has increased because the people have realized that if they spend more money on equipment, they're more likely to be able to mine Bitcoin, and therefore they're going to do so because the rewards are worth it. But when people start to use more technical hardware, what happens then is people are mining the Bitcoin too quickly. So the solution the Bitcoin network has for that, and what is built into Bitcoin, is that if people are mining Bitcoin too quickly and we're having more blocks than one every 10 minutes, the difficulty of that equation, that algorithm, will increase. So that will slow down the amount of Bitcoin that can be mined, and that therefore we'll get back to that 1 block per 10 minutes. And that is called the hash difficulty. So what we're going to see is, as we have new technologies, well, we've seen this before. When new technology comes in and it says, look, we can solve the problem faster than that old technology, as people integrate onto the new technology, the difficulty to mine Bitcoin is actually going to increase to make sure we have that consistent flow of blocks once every 10 minutes. We don't want blocks faster than this. We don't want blocks taking longer than this. Once every 10 minutes is programmed into the Bitcoin network. So if so many people are using this new technology, which means we could be mining every 1 minute, the difficulty of that algorithm will just increase to make sure we're back at 10 minutes. Now, we've seen this before, we will see it again. If this technology truly can increase the rate in which you can mine Bitcoin or solve that problem and therefore increase your chances of being able to get that block reward, those that jump on it first will be the most successful, and eventually, as time goes on, it will be basically necessary in order to continue mining Bitcoin. So we've seen this before. You used to be able to mine Bitcoin on your computer at home, but now the hardware that the competitors have is just so much more advanced that your probability of mining on your computer at home is very, very slim. So to be in with a chance, you need to go and get all the hardware that the other Bitcoin miners have. And that is something that we've seen over years. And this is something we would see again. If this really has such a higher chance of mining Bitcoin, we'll probably see that again, where people transition over to this one, and people that have the current hardware will need to upgrade in order to get that chance and to have that same probability of success. So you can see here that we've got some methods within this. It looks like it's improving efficiency by 10%, and we've also got enhancing the probability of mining a block by up to 260% there as well. So QBT, who are the creators of this, had filed for a patent on this, but I will be dropping the link to this in the chat today. If you are interested in how this works and want a little bit more information, make sure to go over to cryptosavingexpert.com and check that out. Really interesting topic, I think. A lot of people really like Bitcoin and then don't go into the details of how this all works. I would recommend, if you have not already, I'm not going to say too much, but if you have not already, make sure to go to cryptosavingexpert.com, press that big blue sign up button at the top and join us there, because we have some really, really exciting updates coming to cryptosavingexpert.com, and I don't want you guys to miss out. So make sure to do that. Then you'll be in our email list. If you press that sign up button, if you tick that box, you'll be in our email list. You'll be first to know about the updates that are coming. We've been teasing it a little bit on Twitter, but I don't know how much the team have said, so I'm keeping my mouth closed on that one. I don't want to be spoiling it. I don't want to leak the news. That if you sign up there, you'll be first to know when those emails drop, so make sure to do that today if you have not already, and I'll drop the link to that in today's chat as well. Let's see what else is going on in the cryptocurrency news today. Before we do, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. What we have here is Dubai regulator finds 3 Arrows Capital founders. So Dubai's Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority has fined the 3 Arrows Capital founders. Now let's take a look at this. On Wednesday, VARA published a document outlining it had fined OPNX Exchange and its founders, formerly known as 3 Arrows Capital. Obviously, 3 Arrows Capital is one of the companies that did not make it through the turbulent times of 2022. And we can see here the document stated the exchange had been fined roughly $2.7 million, with the regulator stating violations of its virtual assets and related activities regulations 2023 as the reason behind the fine. Now, I'm going to drop the link to this in the chat, so don't forget to check that out if you haven't already. Let's see what else is going on in the cryptocurrency news. We're moving on to Bitcoin now, in just a second. First of all, we're going to talk about PayPal. PayPal UK to pause crypto purchase service till next year. So PayPal's announcement comes as the FCA works towards enforcing new rules in the UK crypto industry. So let's take a look at this. PayPal obviously are striving to get involved in the cryptocurrency space. We've seen them launch PYUSD, their own stablecoin, which is on the Ethereum network. You can transfer it to external wallets, and it can interact with DeFi. And we've seen them say they're going to focus on getting their stablecoin involved in the DeFi space, because that's where we typically use stablecoins right now. And they want to really push to be involved in crypto. So what we're saying here is in an email sent to select users, they're actually stepping back from the UK markets right now as they push their efforts elsewhere. So we can see here they've said, we're taking this measure in response to new rules enacted by the UK FCA that require crypto firms to implement additional steps before customers can purchase crypto. While we work to satisfy these new regulations, you won't be able to buy crypto using PayPal. We remain deeply committed to our compliance obligations, and PayPal consistently works closely with regulators around the world to adhere to applicable rules and regulations in the markets in which we operate. We apologise for the inconvenience. We will let you know when we have implemented the required changes to the crypto experience. So it does look like it is coming in the near future. To learn more about the FCA and the Financial Conduct Authority in the UK and the new regulations they've put in place beginning in October, I believe, then make sure to check out this link I will drop in the chat right now. Let's move on to the price of Bitcoin though. Let's see what's going on with Bitcoin, because we're all here to see this now. Obviously, Bitcoin has dropped below that $29,000 level. With that, we've seen Microstrategy go back into a loss on their holdings because we are fluctuating around that range right now. So you can see here that we are also hearing that dormant addresses are starting to move again and be reawoken, as they've said in this article here. So dormant address holding 1005 Bitcoin reactivates after 13 years. This wallet was last active back in 2010, and now they've decided to move some of their Bitcoin. So the wallet was first flagged by Whale Alert on Twitter, or X, stating the Bitcoin was worth $29.75 million. At the time of the tweet, had spent 12.8 years inactive. So this is the wallet address in question. After being moved, the Bitcoins have since remained inactive and are still within the wallet at the time of writing. So a small investment to millionaire status. What we've seen here is the wallet owner was, or is now, has tens of millions of dollars in Bitcoin wealth. Now you can see, if you take a look at this, the Bitcoins enter the wallet. So the value of the Bitcoins 13 years ago was approximately $328, with them now being worth over nearly $30 million. Imagine investing $328 and flipping that into 30 million. The wallet owner has gone from investing the cost of a TV to being able to buy a yacht and have plenty of spare change. It is likely to remain unknown who the wallet owner is, therefore whether they took a gamble on Bitcoin in 2010 or believed in the fundamentals is uncertain. Another intriguing question is why the Bitcoin was inactive for so long, and how did the wallet owner regain access if they had been knocked out over the last 3 cycles? When dormant Bitcoin addresses wake up, these are fascinating questions that can be speculated on, but unfortunately never answered. So what we can see here is this whale is starting to move. Now the question is, are they moving because they've been a big fan of Bitcoin this whole time? They've been investing and listening about Bitcoin this whole time, but they've decided now they're not sure which way the market's going to go and they want to sell off some of this Bitcoin? Or have they been knocked out for a period of time? They've just come across their private key once again and they've seen what they've got. Why are they choosing now of all times to move that Bitcoin? That's the question we all have, and we never really get an answer to that. The only time we see things like this creating fear in the market is when we see a huge amount of Bitcoin moving onto centralized exchanges, but this actually isn't what's happened here. So who knows what's going on? I wish it was mine, but I can't tell you it is because it's not. Let's see what else is going on in the cryptocurrency news. Let's see what's going on in the chat. So we have Bitcoin is undergoing extreme apathy and exhaustion. Jerome says UK government doing a great job of making the UK a crypto hub. Honestly, I say this every single day. It is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. How can you say you want to be a cryptocurrency hub and then make it very, very difficult for cryptocurrency companies? It just does not make sense. It's the most infuriating thing. But we've got to do what we've got to do at the end of the day. Let's take a look at this article here. Bitcoin is undergoing extreme apathy and exhaustion. So Bitcoin's low volatility of the $29,000 to $30,000 range suggests that its market is undergoing extreme and exhaustion from traders and investors. However, there is still some optimism of a rally to 34k. So Bitcoin's lack of exciting price action during the summer months has led to low volatility and sideways movement that has left many traders on the sidelines. Now, this is what we've been talking about here on the channel for a very long time. We've been seeing Bitcoin move sideways over and over again. As I said, we do these live streams every single day, and every single day for the past 2 weeks I've been coming on and saying there's no movement here. There's nothing to trade here. Nothing is moving. So we can see here, however, the fact contrasts the supply held by short-term holders, which has dropped to a multi-year low of 2.56 million BTC. And this is in relation to a new cumulative all-time high of Bitcoin being held. So let's buy long-term holders. So let's take a look at this. The conditions of the Bitcoin market continue to resemble the bear market hangover seen in prior cycles, with an outsized wealth held by long-term high-conviction holders. So Bitcoin could experience a sharp rally to $34,000. Let's take a look at this. Is this possible? This is the question we're seeing. Bitcoin looks set to dip to the 100-day moving average to around $28,500 according to this analyst. We're also seeing that it could be moving up to 34. So what's the answer here? Let's take a look at this. I would like to say, first of all, this level of support that we've been looking at here on the channel for a while now has broken, and with that we've seen a pretty drastic move to the downside, a 2.2% move in the last 24 hours to the downside. So does that mean we're going to continue down to the downside, or is this just a little bit of a sharp move now that support has broken? Now, as I've been saying, I still don't think that we have broken any major levels of support here. Now I'm looking at this, and we have some levels of support that I'd like to watch out for. The $28,500 one being one of them. This is from the bodies back here, the wicks here, and the wicks here. And we have one here at $28,100. Now, if these get broken, yes, I may start to be a little bit more fearful. But right now, I'm looking at this. No major level of support has been broken other than this yellow one across here. We have this level of resistance as well at $32,000, $31,800. Are we going to see a move to the downside now? I'm looking at this on the daily chart. We are still in an uptrend. We've created higher highs and higher lows. We are currently have the most recent low at $24,820. If we break that point, that is when I would start to look at really bearish targets there. Because right now, we're in an uptrend, and the trend is your friend until the end. So you can see here that we are seeing some more sideways action. If you zoom out onto the bigger time frames, you can see that this drop isn't necessarily the end of the world. We have some levels of support there. We have some levels of resistance here. As I keep saying, there's no volatility in the markets right now. Unless we see some massive news in the markets, I don't see much volatility coming in. And I keep saying this over and over again, and it's because we've seen some really negative news stories coming out about cryptocurrency within the last couple of months. And it's not really dipped as much as everyone was saying it was going to. We've seen some really positive news stories coming out about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in the last couple of months, and Bitcoin didn't really move as high as people thought it was going to. We don't have the volatility there, and I believe that a lot of people have already, the bears have already been wrecked in the start of this year. We've already seen I think the majority of bulls have already put in the majority of their investment. So at this point, we're left in limbo right now, waiting for some news to break us out and get people to start moving again, or waiting to see what's going to happen next. But until then, I do believe that the markets are just sitting tight and ready for some volatility, but I don't think that volatility will arrive until the news arrives. So that's what I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking more sideways action. If you take a look at the RSI and the MACD on the bigger time frames, you can see we haven't had too much of a signal in neither indicators. If you take a look at the daily chart, you can see both pretty neutral there. So we're going to have to wait and see how this plays out. But I will keep you up to date here on CryptoSavingExpert.com, the best cryptocurrency news site out there. If you haven't already, make sure to go to CryptoSavingExpert.com, press that big blue sign up button at the top, and don't miss out on our very exciting announcements coming very soon. That is all we have for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all back here